Touching my hair again, touching my hair again. So all the KJ followers that like to look at how I touch my hair, that's my hair touching for today. I've been out running errands today. Been out to the lawyer's office. We've been out to the bank in San Jose, Drysdale, our private banker. It's pretty crazy living here because of that, but that's not even what I want to talk about. I don't even want to bitch and moan and cry about the fact that my iPad just died. I got to buy a new one. You don't know who I am, and I'm sure you do. I'm Suzanne Titkemeyer. I used to write for Pathos. I wrote a column called No Longer Quivering, where I covered the evangelical quiverful movement and the assorted various things that were linked to it. So today I'm talking about Dramageddon 2022. God knows what part of it is this time. Okay. I can't even believe I have to say some of this stuff. I'd really like to be laughing about the guy with junk on his junk here, or something equally silly, like seeing somebody yesterday on my way to get my shots pushing a Weber BBQ thing, pushing a grill down the street with live coals in it and barbecuing while they're pushing and walking down a major road. I mean, you see that kind of stuff all the time. Hey, Pink Nana, you made it. You made it. So this is the bizarre thing that is internet. Hey, Maria. Uh-oh. What the heck? I lost my earring. Excuse me, I got to get my earring, because if I start talking and I don't have my earring on, what will happen is I will get up from talking. And tonight when I change out my clothing, I'll be going, wait a minute, where's my earring? And I won't remember where it is. On to the drama. I've been seeing on YouTube and Twitter, a lot of people are throwing shade over Claire's Enough is Enough and some of the people that were connected. I was on 2 of those live streams. And here's the deal. Kyle's Goldfish. Hey, Heather. Thank you. I had to go out and pretend. Hey, Lola. Hey, T King. I had to go out and pretend that I was actually an adult. Put clothing on and stuff and lipstick. So this is what you get after I've been to the bank and to the lawyer. Hey, bossy. Okay. So those streams weren't the answer. They definitely weren't the answer. They did allow some of us to vent a little bit about what was going on. But here's the thing. You can't really solve a problem without talking about what the problem is. That's why I never went on any more of those. I like Claire. I like some of her live streams. But the Enough is Enough ones, the panel ones, to put on a real bra today. Yeah, I'm wearing a real one too, and I'm not much liking it. I'd much rather have my little shelf bras on. It didn't go far enough. And that's not Claire's fault. I just want to say that every creator does what they want to do with their streams, and they're the ones that pick the subjects and go as far or as little far as they want. It wasn't enough. The Enough is Enough wasn't enough. But at the same time, at least we were all talking about it. What's happened now is Commentary Kelly made a remark that just made everybody lose their SHIT. I didn't lose it because I had already been, Claire Bear. With an accent, Claire. Yes. With an accent, Claire. I've been on some of her live streams. I like her a lot. But at the same time, she kind of dropped the ball at the beginning of this. She just did. I remember being in one of her live streams right after McSwine was coming after me. And I was kind of weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. And I got a very unsympathetic reply from her. So I just logged off. And when all that happened with with Roadhog and Mrs. Roadhog, with the calling out of people, him saying that he wanted his mods to come to Costa Rica and stomp my rear end, him calling out myself and others and calling us CUNT, all kinds of other vile names, I reacted like this was my ex-husband because of the tone he was using. I was never a Roadhog fan, so when he attacked me because I said he needed to tone down his language, hey Ginger Lee, it was kind of triggering for me. So I reacted, and various people reacted in their ways, and I actually pulled away and quit following some creators because of how they handled myself and others being attacked. We do need to talk about this in this community. We need to talk about the fact that Roadhog is still doing this. He's calling out various creators. He's making claims that he's being stalked, his family's being stalked. We all know that's a bunch of malarkey. Hey, do good letters. That's a bunch of malarkey. He is not, people are commenting and trying to get him to change his ways while he's calling for things like me getting my butt stomped by his mods coming to Costa Rica. And for me, hey, do good letters, when I was able to do the hog dictionary and sing the song and all that, for me, it just completely de-escalated this. I think we need to find ways to de-escalate this. Yeah, the behaviors are dangerous. They most definitely are. He's doing all he can to draw attention away from his victims. That's exactly what he's doing. There's so many things going on. No, I absolutely understood that sentiment too. And part of me feels that sentiment strongly that we need to quit talking about him. But I think we need to talk about him enough to get past it in the community, because we have a lot of people in the community that are really broken over this. This really has had some effects. And it's had some effects on some of his former bonds that have broken away from him. He leaves a trail of broken people, of pain, of anguish. You certainly put me through that for a few days. And I've learned something through this. I've learned that when I'm sick, I should not be on the internet. I should not be listening to other people. I should not be acting, reacting. Hey, Robin. Hey, Jan. Robin, I haven't answered you yet because I haven't really come up with a way to talk to you yet. I'm in Costa Rica and my phone does not call to the US. I only do Zoom meetings with everybody. So I'm going to have to figure out a different way to get in contact with you because this is going to be problematic. So Mr. Hogg is doing all this stuff. Mrs. Hogg is doubling down with him. I don't even want to comment on what I think about their recent addition to their family because I don't know what to think at this point. But I think that the more we ignore them, the better, and the more, yeah, he has crossed a lot of lines, hurt people, gone real life. It's only the right people. It's only right people want to defend themselves. The fake baby thing is disgusting. If people have donated, because I actually agree with that. I totally agree with that. And I think that each creator has to decide whether or not they're going to say his name. Hey, Amanda, because if they say his name, what will happen is he will attack them. And if you're in a good frame of mind like I am right now, because I'm getting the right drugs, I'm starting to feel better again, then you just sing a parody song or you do whatever helps you cope with his stupidity, because he's like the poster boy for toxic YouTube. And I don't understand why he's still on YouTube. He's been spanked by them a few times. He says a lot of things that are actually a huge violation of terms of service, especially the new terms of service from January. Read First They Came poem about the cowardice of German intellectuals during the Holocaust. It applies here. Angel, I absolutely agree. That's why I'm speaking about this. Bossy, here's the situation. Roadhog has attacked everybody and their brother. I'm not going to call him what he calls himself now, Boss Hog, because he's not a boss. He's clearly a worker ant of some sort. He attacked everybody, and everybody has reacted in different ways. Claire did Enough is Enough, where we talked about ways to diffuse situations like this, and it was good, but it didn't go far enough, and there was no denouement of him by Claire, and I think that's kind of problematic. Like I said, I was in one of her streams, and she actually kind of minimized what I said. It was hurtful, but I moved on, and I didn't hold it against her. I'm going to have to talk to her about that eventually. It was pretty hurtful at the time. I'm completely over it now. Water for a change. I hate water. It's a New Orleans thing where we don't drink water because the water in the city is polluted. So I grew up with that. For me to drink water is a big thing. I don't like it. I don't like it because I have such a thing with it in my mind. So I don't think we should blame Claire. Claire tried to do the best she could. Commentary Kelly, that comment was kind of bad. Rose, I don't even know enough to tell you whether she had done something horrible or not when she was a Roadhog moderator. She's since come around. I think we need to keep our membership open when people come around, when they leave these CULTs, be it without a box of Kleenex, Roadhog, Mrs. Roadhog, or whatever. And even if Mrs. Roadhog were to ask for help to leave or to get out of a bad situation, we need to be open to that. He is a buffoon, Angel. I'm not afraid of him at all any longer. He is a buffoon. I think each creator should disclose whether or not they communicate with him. Absolutely. And most people aren't doing that. And I think that's absolutely true. And I have not tried to talk to him privately. I'm just going to throw that out there. I've never had an IM conversation with him. Nothing. I watched him, and we'll see. We will see. All he does is start drama and fights. He doesn't have anyone to fight with. He has no content. Yeah, that's exactly true about him. He is living off of causing trouble. He is. That's exactly right. And I think that we need to cut off the supply after we've talked about it. And I think that we're going to have to take our conversations about recovery from him offline into private situations and private rooms, Zoom, Facebook chat, something like that, because this is, it does change by the minute, Bossy. And I've been kind of in and out because I've been going every day and getting treatments up at the clinic. I've had to do that. I've been sick enough where they're trying to talk about putting me in the hospital again, and I don't really want to do that. I don't recommend talking to him. I don't talk to demons. Plus, you will not change him, but he may upset you. And he'll try to manipulate you if you do that, Angel. That's the other thing that I've discovered. He is an unsafe person who exploits people by using private conversations, releasing DMs, the whole 9 yards. He really has an issue with AZ. Something about her really grates him, probably because she knows what he's all about. She's got his number. Absolutely, Bossy. And she's not afraid to stand up to him and say it. And that I do hold against several members of the community who said, I'm not saying his name because I don't want him attacking me. I'm afraid of that. Then don't talk around in circles about him. Pink Nana, good, because he does say lots and lots of dirty words. And that's okay if that's his thing. But I don't know how he gets away with that. Lola, have they? I think that I've heard that Nikki and Doom have been back again. I don't know. Dana, I did what I could to contribute to the conversations that could help victims of all bullying. I never aligned with, yeah, for other reasons. It hurts us all to be called hypocrites. Absolutely, it does. That's why I am talking now about this. I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody that participated on Enough is Enough, but I don't think in the long run it was really very helpful that we did that. I have no doubt he's lurking in the shadows of this life, probably. And he's probably screenshotting the conversation. So you got to keep that in mind. I'm going to try to set it so that it doesn't save the chat afterwards so that he can't go back and cherry pick. which is pathetic. We're having to do this, that one creator is wreaking so much havoc in a community that needs to be, and that's my main thing. We need to be unified now. We need to use our voices to listen to each other's pain. We need to protect each other. We just need to do it behind closed doors, I think. I don't think that saying it out here does any good. And I also don't think that ratting to others about what somebody has done against them is necessarily a good thing. Like, I know that KJ has said and done a lot of things behind my back, and I don't really care to hear about it right now. I am concentrating on getting rid of this kidney infection. And for me, it's more than just getting well. It's more than just getting well. He'll fade away into oblivion. I already talked about these topics before the hashtag. If I'm being honest, all the hashtag did was bring drama to the conversations I'm already having. So I left. Dina, that's a smart thing to do. And you will notice sometimes I will have conversations about healing, about how to handle certain things. I really think with him, like I said, we need to welcome anybody who's recovering or been hurt by him of any stripe, even if they once participated in his lives. We need to help everybody recover. We need to do it in a safe way where he cannot get in and see what's going on. It is great, but it didn't work. It just didn't work like we thought it would. So we have to retool and do something else, and we have to stop fighting and blaming each other. I think that's a big important part, because the more he can split the community and make us all upset and crying with each other and having a fit, the more he likes that, the more he can use that for content. And I think what we have to do is cut off his ability to use content. I know he's going to take this video and chop it up into a million pieces and use it. And I know this time I'm going to content strike him. I'm going to copyright strike him. Do you hear that, Mr. Hogg? Because I know you're lurking. If you use more than a minute of this video, and I'm not giving you permission to use it, I'm saying that you cannot use it. If you use it, I will copyright strike you. I thought it was against terms to stream alive. It is. It is, but it's chat, so maybe that's a loophole. Dina, I'm glad. I try to have those conversations because I learned at NLQ that it's important to have those conversations. I have been incredibly emotionally burned out since leaving NLQ, and I'm not letting people do the trauma dump thing on me anymore because I just can't handle it. I'm trying to handle my health here, which has kind of been all over the charts since I moved to Costa Rica. What is the EIE? Enough is enough. That's what we were calling our thing. Thank you, Freddie. Just Doomed did a 1 hour live apologizing to A. That is excellent. Go Doom. I'm all about that. That's an excellent thing to do. So we just need to love on each other and get past this and ignore the people that want to divide us, because that's not going to get anything done. Gingerly, I've had to put boundaries in place that I've never had before because I didn't understand boundaries after I left my old church. There were no boundaries. Like I said, I had such loose boundaries that my pastor demanded a meeting alone with me in front of my husband. And I shut that down because I had enough boundary at that point to know that was wrong. Enough boundary. So, oh, and to the people that watch and say, I am not in Costa Rica, I'm drinking my water, Costa Rica. So our Zoom call is the type of place to have these offline discussions. Oh, I don't know. We have to talk about that. We have to think about this. Yeah, I'm sure she did. We just have to figure out what that looks like. And I'm thinking it may look like some kind of a locked message board that you have to apply for membership and you have to have a recognizable name, because this has just gone on far enough. When you have a whole pile of people, and my understanding is it's getting close to 200 people who have been hurt by one creator, there has to be healing. And that has to take place even with KJ. I mean, some of the things that have gone through with her. So what I'm suggesting is we may have to come together as a community and come up with a way to deal with this. You have to see this TikTok where a comedian makes fun of transformed wife. Bossy, I do. Oh my goodness. I wonder if Ken tried to contact that person and shut them down like he's tried to do me repeatedly. Ken has me on speed dial, unfortunately, and I've had to block him every time he turns around and hits something. Every time he turns around, every time I make a new social media account for something else, he tries to hit my relatives, my friends, and just say and do all kinds of crazy crap. So my husband's not interested. More antics from Wilbur. Wilbur is just full of antics. But here's the thing. Wilbur's antics aren't really the issue here right now, Prairie. The issue is that there's a lot of fighting in the stupid communities because everyone is turning on each other and saying, you didn't say enough, you didn't do enough, blah, 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 blah. And nobody's willing to extend any grace, forgiveness, or unity, which is what we really need right now, is unity. Wilbur is Wilbur. Wilbur is going to continue this crap for as long as he thinks he can pull it off. But our thing is, don't fear, don't react to him. And if there's going to be healing conversations, they're going to have to occur out of the public sphere because Wilbur is so incredibly obsessed with hearing every stupid word that comes out of his mouth. I know she thinks she's the next Sarah Edmondson who brought down but yes, she brought down a real cult from inside. Here's the thing I think with her that she hasn't considered. And I'm switching topics here to KJ. I know she's probably talking to at least one or two groups, media groups, or documentarians or whatever about this whole thing with 7M. But here's the thing about that. If I had $1 for every time when I was at NLQ that I talked to a documentarian, a writer, a news organization, and gave them background information, then didn't get a mention, I could put in a mink lining to my hot tub. They gather information. She is not the story. She thinks she's the story. She is not the story, and they're not going to use her in any story at all. She might get like a teeny tiny little mention. So she's not the story, just like Roadhog is not actually the story. We have to stand up to him, tell him we don't fear him, do his worst. It does not matter. Respect to the chat. I think a lot of us are gun shy when speaking with people privately. We trusted someone and now know they're communicating with Roadhog. Ours and our families' lives are at risk. Doogie Lars, you make an extremely good point. And it is hard to know who to trust because you and I have had a correspondence that has been kind of like secret squirrel because I wasn't sure how far I could trust you and you weren't sure how far you could trust me. Yes, it was a well-respected person in the community, and it's somebody I think that is struggling with a reputation now because it's come out some of the things they've done, and that's really the tragedy because a lot of us really like this person. And like I said, that was a shocking thing to me, the large number of people that I looked up to, that when I was going through the worst of my worst with him and I was flipping out because I was so sick and he was doing all this, was that so many people were minimizing what he'd done or excusing what he'd done and were secretly talking to him or even openly talking to him. To me, that was the thing. We need to stand up to toxic people in this community and say, no, we're not afraid of you. We're not putting up with this. This is the truth. The rest of us need to figure out ways to heal and get together, and we need some unity in the community. Unity in the community. That's my new thing. I guess I'll do unity in the community, how to heal. Freddie, I watched him a little bit at first too. I didn't like the way that he was saying things. And I actually tried to talk to him about, well, I tried to say, hey, don't talk like that. And he didn't handle it well. I still don't think that calling women the CUNT is a way to go. That would be like me calling every man that I disagree with flaccid. You're flaccid, 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 flaccid. It would be so insulting and so childish, like schoolyard insults. My Sicilian grandfather always said, trust no one but family. There's a little bit to be said about that, Pink Nana. I can tell you don't trust family necessarily either, because I was raised in a big dysfunctional family. I was the only child, but it was a large Cajun family, had oodles of cousins, aunties, uncles, and it was just crazy town. Things happened I could even say about that are just crazy town. So, Mr. Roadhog, if you're watching here, I was my father's little princess. He never laid a hand on me. So you need to stop with all of the, oh, she must have been molested by her father, that you're throwing at everybody. Many of us were not. We were our dad's, the apple of our dad's eye. I have good memories looking back at my father. My father was wonderful. He was my parent. The one time I watched him, he was reading a letter from KJ's attorney. It was all people received. Bossy, that letter, that damn letter. I am still dealing with the repercussions for that stupid letter. Do you know that she supposedly wants my notes for a possible book I was writing? Because I was notating everything that was happening in the community. She's not getting that. I basically said, I told her attorney, come back with a court order and we'll talk then. And it has to be a court order from here where I'm living full time as a resident, not a court order from back in the States. You can't compel me with the States side one. Yeah, I'm not giving up on love. I don't know if anybody else is, and not everybody is bad. You're right. The roadhogs of this world are the minority. They're just the loudest ones. They are the loudest ones in the community. That's the scary thing. We have to, I guess, be louder and shout them down when they start that nonsense. And we all know they start nonsense to have content. I've never been able to make it through a live too much, triggering my past mistakes. Carmarlu, I hear you. There are a lot of lives that I don't go to for very long because of that, because I will get triggered and I'll just click off. The other thing for me is I don't always have time to answer everybody and do everything. I'm living here and it's a wonderful thing. Our house is a work in progress all the time, all the time. Like right now, I got to get the AC fixed, and I never did get a hold of the guy. He didn't come to replace the one in the guest house. So that has to take place. My gardening frames are empty. I have to very shortly plant my vegetable garden. So it's always something. There's always something going on. And that's good. My dad loved me, and I lucked out with the parent lottery. You're lucky. I'm almost 42, and he still takes good care of me. Embarrassing to say, but I'm disabled and need it, and he's happy to help. He wants to help. Bossy, that's excellent. Around the time my father died, I was discovering that I had pretty large life-threatening life things going on. I had severe asthma from the time I was born until I was about 14. It evaporated when I became a big pothead. It came back when I was 42, even though I was not a pothead between all those years. It came back, and I started suffering all kinds of consequences. Oh, your dad died of pancreatic cancer in 2015, and I mourn him to this day. My father died back in 1999, right before, like November 1999, right before the end of this world as we know it. At least the Fundy Town people that I was hanging out with were sure that we were going to have this end of the world scenario when the clocks rolled over to 2000, Y2K. I have friends that are still using the toilet paper they bought by the case then. That's how long ago it was and how severely they all did. Yeah, almost 55 and my dad is 81. Oh, Gingerly, that's so awesome that you have that kind of relationship with him. I loved my father dearly, and when he passed, I still miss him to this day. It was hard, but here's the even harder thing. When he died, I was the only one in the family that did not fall apart. I was the one that had to plan the funeral, the reception, the whole 9 yards. Pick the casket, pick all the pick all the scriptures, the songs, the whole 9 yards. And I couldn't fall apart. I didn't fall apart until later. To this day, there are days when I pick up my phone to call him and to tell him a dirty joke or tell him something, and he's not there. I realize it when I pick up the phone and say, oh, I can't call him. It's been more than 20 years. I should remember that I can't call him, but it's still there, that urge. I can't even imagine my parents not being there. Oh, tearing up thinking about it. Oh, yes. It's hard. It's hard when you lose your parents. My father had a massive stroke and we had to take him off life support. So when Mr. Hogg says, oh, your daddy must have molested you, that's actually pretty hurtful. I mean, especially if you're dealing with the grief of a parent not being there and he's blackening that parent's name. My father was an enormously big-hearted guy. He was a bank president. He was also a clown. I mean, a professional clown. He did that part-time. He was a wonderful man. Was he a little stir crazy sometimes? A little crazy? Yeah, but we all are a little weird and crazy. It is highly offensive, blackening the reputation of someone I dearly loved who's passed on. I told my dad I took my car to Toyota and they can't patch my slow leak in my tire. And I need all new tires, but can't afford it. Oh, he said I will pay, got it all for it. That is awesome. That's like my dad. It is a rude thing to say about anybody to their father, but that's where their mind goes, which makes me wonder what happened to them to make their mind go there every time to those sort of things. Who knows? My father was a rocket scientist. Oh, that's pretty cool. Indian Head, Maryland. I'm familiar where that is. Angel Play. Oh, happy birthday to your father, Kyle's Goldfish. He's been having health problems, awaiting an operation, which was canceled due to COVID. That's the problem. COVID has really done a number on getting anything medical done. Even my recent conniptions in the hospital, I showed up with a COVID test that showed I was negative that had been run earlier in the day, and they still repeated all of the COVID crap. They made me take another COVID test. They did a x-ray of my lungs and told me I had COVID, which turned out not to be true. Oh, okay. So that's okay, Dirty Uncle Sal. I'm talking about the crap that's going on in our community and Roadhog and his sickening, gross ways. And here's the thing. I am not sure what it will take to have YouTube remove him. I would have thought that everything that he's said and done so far would have him removed. So I'm kind of hoping he uses some of this so that I can copyright strike him today and maybe get him off. You know, they tend to, my observation is if it's somebody that tends to make a pile of money for them, they tend to have a little more leniency. Look at Without a Crystal Ball. Roadhog is not as big, but they're clearly making some kind of money off of him. So they're going to let him stay on, it looks like. So I don't know what's going to happen. But here's the thing. We have to stand up to him. We have to be firm. We have to tell him off. We have to heal behind a wall and move on and then not mention him at all. It's like cutting off the oxygen supply to some parasite. I mean, really, he's like a parasite on our community. He's not adding anything except toxic waste and poison. So, unity in the community is my new tag for all of this. Let's get all this done. Let's be good to each other. Let's extend some forgiveness. And the current the cons- it concerns me with the essay rhetoric, particularly with the teen and small ones in the house. Dirty Uncle Sal, that is a valid concern. It really is. Freddie, I don't know. I wish I did. I wish I knew what the YouTube gods were thinking. Could be legal reasons why they're both there. I'm glad to hear that it's been empowering. We just need to showcase our love, unity in the community, give him nothing to screenshot. Exactly. I'm going to go. I actually have my lunch sitting here, cauliflower straws and a couple other things, and I need to eat so I can take pills and get better. Hopefully get better, just heal from all this crap. Mocking, it has been quite the day, but I'm calling for unity in the community, and we just need to be a unified wall against Roadhog and call him out on his crap, because it's all just crap. It's just crap. He's starting all kinds of trouble in our community, and it's just not going well. Shyla, I love your art. Girl, you are encouraging me to do better. And I'm going to share one quick little thing. You know what you do when your husband pisses you off royally? You go get $80 worth of art supplies. That's exactly what you do. So that's exactly it. So I'm going to go eat and lay down. You guys have a great day. It is hot as hell. Tales of our actions. Even if we do bad actions, I just want to throw this out here before I go too. Aaron is right. Everybody sucks. I mean, people do stupid shit. I do stupid shit all the time. I don't know about you guys. I do, including that $80 worth of art supplies I just bought out of spite. I actually have a spite blanket that I bought expensive yarn to make. Just because I was mad at him for the day, I went and bought it in front of him and said, here's my so many dollars worth of yarn. The best revenge is to live well, and we have to. Oh, Shiloh, we have that common. Oh my goodness, in front of him. So take care. Don't take any of this in because it is poisonous. Stand up when you need to. Let's support each other. Let's have unity in the community and just go on from there. Flip him the middle finger metaphorically every single day. Love all of you guys, and I think we're figuring out how to deal with this cancer, and he is like a cancer. Just get rid of him, like he doesn't matter, because he doesn't. He does not matter in the long run for any of us. Love you guys. Have a great day.